Imagine finding your own house when you wake up one day. Once a place of familiarity and comfort, it has now turned into your greatest challenge. Martha experienced precisely that on her 73rd birthday. Her independence and delight were stolen when simple activities like reaching for a cup or finding her way to the toilet at night became into difficult obstacles. This is a really serious matter. According to studies, 85% of seniors want to age in their own homes, but only 26% have made the effort to make the small changes that would enable them to do so in a safe and comfortable manner. This indicates that a startling 74% of people struggle every day with things that used to be simple, making their homes unintentionally stressful and dangerous places. What if I told you, however, that these difficulties are not unavoidable? That minor adjustments made with consideration can have a big impact. In this video, we'll look at 18 revolutionary home hacks that have helped thousands of elderly people, like Martha, regain their independence by turning their houses from hassles into havens of comfort. As you watch, I ask you to think about which of these easy yet significant adjustments might have had the most impact on your life if you had been aware of them earlier. You may be surprised by the response. Ella Lenina, a lively woman in her late 70s, became aware of a problem with her everyday routine. She was always on tiptoes, arms awkwardly stretched overhead, attempting to carefully take hot plates out of her counter-height microwave whenever she needed to reheat something. Her shoulders ached from the unnatural angle, and she was always afraid of reprimanding herself. Her sense of independence in the kitchen was being undermined by this formerly easy activity, which had turned into a cause of dread. Alina was perusing a home organization store one day when she noticed a straightforward fix, a microwave shelf that is both strong and adaptable. Her microwave was raised to a more manageable height thanks to this clever idea, which removed the need for risky reaching and straining. At last she could reheat a dish of leftovers or heat her tea without discomfort or worry. The effect was tremendous and instantaneous. Eleanor had a feeling of relief upon realizing how a seemingly insignificant change might have such a profound impact on her day-to-day existence. It was a triumph for her autonomy and evidence of the value of well-considered design that takes into account the evolving requirements of aging bodies. Knowing that she would have to stoop to retrieve what she needed, Ella would always use when she opened her refrigerator. Those lower shelves might as well have been on the floor because she had flare-ups of arthritis in her back and knees. Reaching for that yogurt container in the back corner, or fresh veggies, turned into a regular ritual of suffering and annoyance. Ella made the decision to reconsider how she organized her refrigerator because she was determined to find a better solution. She turned her refrigerator into an accessible sanctuary by purchasing a set of glass, stackable bins, and turntables. Items that were frequently utilized were now in the forefront, accessible, and plainly apparent. While those rarely used condiments were pushed to the back of the crisper drawers, heavier objects, such as milk jugs, found new homes on the main shelf. The change was striking. Ella no longer had to bend over or endure excruciating contortions to reach anything in her refrigerator. Her refrigerator, which had previously caused her anguish, now brought her happiness because it was well organized and simple to use. It demonstrated the value of careful planning and demonstrated that age need not be a barrier. Elena's kitchen abruptly turned into an impossible challenge course after she broke her wrist last winter. With only one working hand, tasks like chopping vegetables, opening jars, and even pouring coffee felt daunting. She felt helpless and defeated at a place that had previously been her haven because of the overwhelming frustration. Ella started looking into adaptable kitchen appliances because she was determined to reclaim her culinary independence. One-handed jar openers, rocking knives that made chopping a breeze, and specially manufactured cutting boards with integrated food holders were just a few of the clever devices she found that empowered those with little dexterity. Equipped with these new instruments, Elena returned to her kitchen with caution, her despair giving way to optimism. The things that had previously felt insurmountable were doable, even pleasurable, to her surprise. She was able to cook with pride and confidence once more. Her kitchen is now a representation of her adaptation and tenacity, rather than a sign of her limitation. Chapter 4. Revolution in Cabinet Conversion. This is the next remedy that Elena's neighbors can't stop using. Her creative cabinet conversion solution, which removed the daily annoyance of storage that was out of reach. Elena's kitchen cabinets appeared to have been made for someone considerably taller, as is the case with many houses constructed in a bygone age. It took a step stool and prayer to reach products on the upper shelves, which is dangerous for anyone, much less an elderly person who is worried about falling. Pull-down cabinet organizers were both a clever and useful solution. Pots, pans, and pantry essentials could be easily accessed without the need for acrobatics thanks to these clever devices, which gently pulled those tall and powerful shelves down to eye level. It had a transforming effect. Elena's kitchen seemed bigger, more practical, and far less scary. Her neighbors were excited to adopt the same approach in their own homes after seeing how easy and effective she had become. It served as evidence of the effectiveness of straightforward fixes for everyday problems that promote camaraderie and collective inventiveness. Chapter 5. The Hack for the Vanished Light. After a terrifying near miss that many seniors will be familiar with, Elena learnt about this upcoming hack. She almost avoided a dangerous fall as she stumbled over a misplaced food tool while searching in the dark for a light switch. It was a clear warning that darkness, which is sometimes taken for granted, can be extremely dangerous for shaky gaits and aging eyes. Elena was determined to avoid mishaps in the future, so she set out to strategically light her house. She placed motion-activated nightlights along stairwells and corridors, providing a comforting glow that helped her navigate the dark safely. Finicky switches were replaced by touch-sensitive bulbs that provided instant illumination with a single tap. The outcome? Day and night, Elena's house became a sanctuary of safety and security. She was confident in her ability to handle her environment. A fresh sense of calm took the place of her fear of falling. It served as a potent reminder that even small fixes, like well-placed lighting, can make a big difference in our freedom and general well-being as we age. Chapter 6. Hold on without strength. It became a morning struggle to open my favorite jam. Elena opens up. My hands just weren't able to hold as well as they used to. Jars weren't the only thing. It included spinning faucets, knives, peelers, and can openers. One kitchen gadget at a time, I was losing my independence. Many elders have experienced this difficulty, which can make even the most straightforward chores seem impossible. Elena, however, was unwilling to give up her independence in the kitchen. She found a variety of assistive technology that is intended to make up for weakened hands. Rubberized grips on ergonomic jar openers make twisting lids a breeze. Even the thickest cardboard was easily cut using lightweight, spring-loaded scissors. Lever-style doorknob adapters made it easier to enter and exit by replacing knobs that were challenging to grasp. With these easy-to-use yet powerful tools, Elena took back control of her kitchen. Now she could eat her jam and toast in the morning without help. She regained her self-assurance and independence. It demonstrated the effectiveness of adaptive design and showed that becoming older need not limit our capacity to live freely and contentedly. Elena admits, somewhat dejectedly, that the day I slid in the shower was the day my son began looking into nursing facilities. More than any medical diagnosis had ever threatened my independence, that one moment did. The restroom, which is supposed to be a place of rest and cleanliness, may easily turn into a dangerous place for elderly people who have trouble moving around. However, Elena refused to allow fear control her since she was adamant on staying in her cherished house. She set out to make her shower a place of safety and accessibility rather than a slick danger. A non-slip bath mat offered safe footing, and a strong grab bar placed close to the door offered a comforting handhold. She was able to take a bath while sitting thanks to a cozy shower chair, which reduced the chance of falling and used less energy. Less than an hour was needed for the makeover, but the peace of mind it brought was priceless. Knowing that her safety came first allowed Elena to resume enjoying her daily showers. It was a win for her independence and evidence of the effectiveness of small adjustments that help elders deal with everyday obstacles. According to Elena, the majority of bathroom falls do not occur in the shower. They occur during certain transitions, such as crossing thresholds, estimating toilet height incorrectly, or failing to notice a countertop's edge. The biggest dangers come from these small, seemingly unimportant moments that are frequently disregarded. Ever the practical one, Elena addressed these hidden threats with a series of unseen improvements. Instead of lowering and raising her toilet awkwardly and maybe dangerously, she switched it out for a comfort height model. Her bathtub and bathroom countertop have non-slip adhesive strips attached to the sides to provide tactile and visual cues, reducing the chance of falls and other mishaps. These small but impactful adjustments significantly improved Elena's day-to-day existence. With her newfound self-assurance, she could stroll around the bathroom with ease and security. It served as evidence of the effectiveness of well-considered design that puts accessibility and safety first, without compromising on style or usefulness. The thing that scared me the most wasn't falling. I couldn't identify which of my heart medication pills I had already taken, so I took 2 doses that day. Elena admits in a serious tone. Medication errors can have serious repercussions. However, a lot of elderly people have deteriorating vision and dexterity, which makes taking their medications a daily battle. Determined to take back control of her health, Eleanor understood she needed a system that was simple to use and reliable. A weekly pill organizer, with its divisions clearly labeled with days and times, took the place of her disorganized medicine cabinet. Each drug was designated by large print labels so she could quickly tell them apart. She also purchased a reminder for talking pills. Its soft voice announces the times of day when medications are due. Elena was able to turn a source of anxiety into a bearable routine by using these straightforward yet powerful strategies. Now that she was in charge of her health and well-being, she could take her meds with assurance. It was a triumph for her self-reliance and evidence of the ability of accessible design to enable elderly people to easily and dignifiedly manage their health. Chapter 10. The toilet paper trick. No one discusses it. Elena replies with a knowing smile. It's the everyday struggles that no one talks about. For example, the seemingly easy task of reaching for toilet paper became shockingly challenging following my shoulder surgery. Even though they may appear insignificant, these routine chores can pose serious hurdles for elderly people who have mobility issues. Ever resourceful, Elena found a straightforward yet clever answer: extending an arm to install a toilet paper holder on the wall. This ingenious design made it unnecessary for her to reach behind her or twist awkwardly to get to the toilet paper. She also learned about the practicality of bidet attachments, which provide a sanitary and soft substitute for conventional toilet paper and are especially useful for people with poor dexterity. These seemingly insignificant changes have a profound impact on Elena's day-to-day existence. She was once again able to take care of herself independently and with dignity. Her bathroom became a place that was completely supportive of her well-being. It served as a reminder that, as we mature, even the tiniest things can have a big influence on how happy we are. Chapter 11. The method for protecting against temperature changes. With concern in her voice, Elena explains that most people are unaware that as people age, their skin grows thinner and more susceptible to burns. Seniors might receive severe reprimands in a matter of seconds from water that feels comfortable to younger skin. It becomes crucial to protect from scalding injuries, which calls for alertness and preventative actions. Ever mindful of safety, Elena used a multifaceted strategy to maintain a comfortable and safe water temperature in her house. In order to control water temperature and avoid unexpected spikes in hot water, she fitted anti-scald mechanisms on all faucets and shower heads. She was able to verify the temperature visually before entering the shower or bathtub, thanks to a large, easily readable water thermometer. Even though they seemed insignificant, these safety measures gave Elena a great deal of peace of mind. Her safety and well-being came first, allowing her to unwind and enjoy her everyday activities without worrying about getting burned. It demonstrated the value of preventative safety measures that take into account the particular risks that seniors confront. Chapter 12. The Technique of Floor Transformation. It's the things you can't see that pose the greatest risk in the restroom. Elena issues a warning. When those shiny, immaculate tile floors get wet, they turn into death traps. Bathrooms with slippery floors, which are frequently unavoidable, provide serious fall hazards to everyone, but especially to elderly people who have balance problems. Elena used a two-pronged strategy, prevention and traction, in an effort to reduce these hazards. She deliberately positioned absorbent bath mats around the bathtub and shower to quickly absorb splashes and spillage. Her most significant alteration, however, was to the floors themselves. She spent money on non-slip mats and rugs. Even on damp tiles, their rough surfaces offer stable footing. The change was striking. Elena's restroom, which had previously caused anxiety, seemed comfortable and secure. She didn't have to worry about slipping. Her self-assurance and tranquilly returned. It served as a potent reminder that straightforward, preventative actions can significantly lower the chance of falls and turn potentially dangerous situations into safe havens for people's health and safety. Chapter 13. The Navigation System at Night. Driving to the supermarket isn't the most hazardous trip a senior can do in their lifetime. At 2:00 a.m., it's strolling to the loo. Elena gives a convincing explanation. Darkness and possible confusion can turn a well-traveled route into a dangerous obstacle course. Elena installed a thoughtful lighting system because she was determined to make her nightly trip stress-free and safe. Along her bedroom top route, motion sensor nightlights were positioned thoughtfully to provide a soft, comforting glow. Additionally, she had a small portable torch on her bedside table that she could easily access for additional illumination as needed. The effect was tremendous and instantaneous. Now, even in the middle of the night, Elena could confidently make her way home. She felt safe and in charge instead of afraid of falling. It demonstrated the effectiveness of straightforward, reasonably priced solutions that tackle typical issues seniors confront and improve their safety and peace of mind. Chapter 14. The Bedroom Without Bends. According to Elena, a question my physical therapist asked me completely altered my life. Before I had left for breakfast, she asked how often I stoop in my bedroom. I was astonished 17 times by the response. This insight led her to set out to redecorate her bedroom in order to make it as comfortable and stress-free as possible. Elena started by using bed risers to raise her bed, which greatly reduced the strain on her knees and back as she got in and out of bed. She switched over her bedside table with a taller one so that commonly used objects would be easily accessible. She could put on her shoes without bending thanks to a long-handled shoe horn, and she could easily pick up spilt objects using a reacher grabber tool. Elena's everyday existence was significantly impacted by these ostensibly little changes. Aches and discomfort no longer ruled her mornings. She had the enthusiasm and ease to begin her day. Her bedroom became a functional and comfortable retreat. It served as evidence of how well ergonomic design can support aging bodies and enable pain-free, independent living for elders. Chapter 15. A Revolution of the Wardrobe. When Elena realized how much energy she was wasting every morning, fumbling with clothing that was difficult to reach, she decided to make over her closet. Bending down to pick up shoes from the floor, or reaching for objects on high shelves, have become unpleasant and draining routines. Elena used the same concepts of ease of use and accessibility to her wardrobe after being inspired by the successful transformation of her kitchen. She put in adjustable wardrobe rods so she could change the hanging heights to her preferred level. Deep, inaccessible shelves were swapped out for shelving units with pull-out drawers, which made it simple to see and reach her apparel. She avoided bending by keeping her shoes accessible and organized with a tiered shoe rack. The outcomes were revolutionary. Once a cause of annoyance, Elena's wardrobe has turned into a source of delight. She could locate and get her clothes with ease. Battles over her attire gave way to celebrations of style and self-expression in the morning. It demonstrated the value of well-considered planning and user-friendly design, and demonstrated that becoming older should not take away from the enjoyment of basic pleasures like dressing. With passion in her voice, Eleanor admits, "The day I couldn't get out of my favorite armchair was the day I felt truly old. Suddenly, the lovely chair where I had read to my grandchildren turned into a trap." As we get older, it might be depressing and lonely to realize that our favorite pieces of furniture may turn into our worst enemies. But instead of accepting a life without her cherished armchair, Elena looked for answers. She found a line of inconspicuous but efficient chair aids that are intended to give a mild boost, making getting out of a seated position easier. She also tried a variety of cushion heights and firmnesses before settling on one that offered the best support and reduced the strain of standing up. Elena regained her favorite chair and a treasured aspect of her everyday routine with these easy modifications. Her independence and enjoyment were restored, and she could once more spend an afternoon crocheting or reading without worrying about getting stuck. It served as evidence of the effectiveness of adaptive solutions, which enable elderly people to continue taking delight in life's small joys without any restrictions. Why do manufacturers create remote controls with buttons so small that they need to be operated by someone with surgeon's dexterity and reading glasses? With a familiar annoyance, Elena asked. Because using 3 separate remote controls had become a daily struggle, I found myself avoiding TV completely. Even though technology is meant to improve our lives, it frequently unintentionally puts seniors who are dealing with age-related issues at a disadvantage. Eleanor looked for solutions that made using technology easier since she was determined to regain her favorite spot to unwind. She switched out her assortment of little remote controls with plenty of buttons for one universal remote with big, easily identifiable buttons. She also bought a voice-activated smart speaker, which lets her use voice commands to control her TV and other gadgets instead of fumbling with buttons. Elena's living room was once again a peaceful haven, thanks to these clever technological fixes. She was no longer frustrated and could enjoy her favorite television programs and films. Instead of working against her, her technology works for her. It served as evidence of the effectiveness of user-friendly design in enabling elderly to use technology without compromising usability or accessibility. For what reason are outlets at knee height? Elena shakes her head in confusion. Homes seem to have been built to put us in awkward positions several times a day. Seniors with limited mobility may face serious difficulties as a result of these design flaws, which are frequently overlooked by younger generations. Ever inventive, Elena came up with a straightforward yet clever solution, placing electrical outlets at waist height. This easy change reduced strain and the danger of falls by doing away with the need to bend or squat to plug in or unplug appliances. She also bought a couple multi-outlet extension cords to increase accessibility and lessen the need for awkward movements. Elena's everyday life changed drastically as a result of these small but significant adjustments. She could now easily take care of her domestic duties, her home promoting rather than impeding her independence. It served as evidence of the effectiveness of well-considered design that recognizes and caters to the special requirements of senior citizens, resulting in living environments that foster dignity, comfort, and safety. Elenine's story demonstrates the ability of straightforward, doable fixes to turn a house from a place of aggravation and peril into a place of solace and self-reliance. Even though all 18 of the hacks we've looked at have the potential to greatly enhance a senior's quality of life, Elena discovered that the pull-down closet, medicine cabinet organization, and nighttime navigation system were especially life-changing, giving her a fresh sense of security, autonomy, and respect. Elena advises people on a tight budget to put safety first, energy conservation second, and convenience last. Aesthetic improvements or opulent conveniences should never take precedence over addressing possible risks and removing needless stress. I no longer merely reside in my home. Elena declares with a calm sense of pride, I thrive in it, echoing the feelings of innumerable elders who have adopted these transformative home hacks. Out of these 18 hacks, which will you attempt first? What matters most is delivered by these small but significant improvements: comfort, dignity, safety, and independence. Keep in mind that rather than undermining your independence, your home should encourage it. Join the thousands of others who have already made these easy adjustments to their living areas. Please subscribe for more useful solutions that respect your experience while improving your quality of life. Like this video and share it with someone who might find it useful.